Well, I just thought I would just get right to it, man. You're probably asking, Martin, why do you always talk about money? Martin, why do you always talk about money? Well, back in 2008, that's when my life changed. Before 2008, man, I was going to the bars. Man, when my specialty drink was Long Island, I was like always looking for a new club. I was hanging out in Long Beach. I was hanging out in Orange County. And I was still doing like the one night stand thing, man. I remember this one time I went to this person's house, gave me a bath. Then after that we had sex. And I didn't, now that I look back on it, I was thinking, you think about those times where they say people, um, they take out your organs and stuff. I mean, I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh man, that's cool. Homegirl was giving me a bath before we have sex. I'm gonna hit that, man. I remember that. And then I think I had one more one night stand. It was like a threesome. I mean, I used to go to people's houses, man. I'm like, Tiger Woods ain't got nothing on me, man. I mean, I used to go to people's houses. I mean, went to this one lady's place in San Francisco on the 15th floor. After we had done it, she started talking all crazy, and I said, I got to get the hell up out of here, man. So I might have to practically lie my way to get out of there, man. She's like, aren't you going to marry me? Aren't you going to do this after we've had sex twice? I'm like, one night stand, and then we met up again. It's like, I don't think so. And then like I got introduced to Amway, and yeah, like a lot of you, I didn't make a lot of money with Amway, but it did teach me, like, I should really look at my finances and see what's going on. And during 2008, that's when the Great Recession was beginning. And it took about a year. I kept looking, going to sales, dealing with people, and then I finally said, let me just take a look at my finances. And then about a year later, I realized I had two duplexes I was trying to make money off of, and I thought, hey, I'll get a property management company to help me out, because I was going to using those Amway skills. And the property management company didn't give me any money. Every time the check came in, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna get me a $2,000 check. Check was about $1,300, $1,400, but the mortgage was $2,000. So I was taking $600 out my regular check to lose money. And then then after that, just the tenants stopped paying, and I tried some trick to raise the rent. That didn't work. And eventually I lost the two duplexes. And the problem with losing the two duplexes is while I was trying to keep the two duplexes afloat, I was using a line of credit from Bank of America, and so I ran up a debt for about $15,000, man, and all kind of credit card debt. So not only did I lose my two duplexes, I had a line of credit for over $15,000 with Bank of America, and then at my current job, I was about to take a 10 to 15% pay cut. And that's when I realized, you know what? It didn't matter how much crying I did to the bank. If I didn't get that check in for those duplexes, they were going to take those duplexes. And then on top of it, we had a house that was about to go into foreclosure. It's like did my best. The loan was about $1,700. And they said, usually we don't do, they're talking about how people usually don't do refinances, like whatever, loan modification. That was during that loan modification time during the Great Recession. And they said only 3% of people ever get them done, because I had friends who tried to do it and they lost money, but I tried it and I actually got it done. So for 2 years at least, I was able to get those payments lower. But I was in debt, man. And I realized if you don't have money, that's when, like, because when I was younger, I was an usher in the Sunday school, and that's when I you just have to have love in your heart, and God will protect you and help you out. And I thought, okay, I'll try all that. So you were afraid to talk about money. But when it came to the Great Recession, if you didn't have any money, you're just ass out. So that's when I got more comfortable talking about money. And things were looking good for me. I thought I was moving up to the top. And then 2014, grandmother died. Not only than that, I had to take over the payment of the house, so that was $300 for the loan. And this is in like LA County, so LA started coming up with like these new bizarre standards for like houses where they didn't want the power lines close to the houses. So we're in the urban area, and they're trying to give us regulations for like the rural areas. So then on top of that, just after 2014, I was working like between 2008 and 2014, I was working every job I could with Craigslist. Craig was my friend, and I thought just as I came out of it, 2004, grandmother passed away. Line of credit was almost paid off, but then I found out she had a $19,000 Medicare bill that had to be paid. I thought I could get out of it, but just had to pay it. Also, I ended up finding out like the living trust we had that was supposed to exclude her son, who was a drug addict, from getting the house was not exactly valid. So I ended up spending almost $20,000 in lawyer fees for probate fees. So just when I thought I had gotten out of debt, like everything was okay, grandmother dies, I get $20,000 in lawyer bills. I got to pay for her house, so that's another $300. I got to pay the property tax, so that's another $200. So that's when I realized, you know, if you don't have no money, you're done. So, and on top of that, I got a call from my student loan company. Hello, Mr. Morris. Your student loan has not been paid properly, and we're going to garnish your wages and take your income tax. And that's when I like hit rock bottom again. I was like, oh, what do you mean? I was crying and begging because I was using that income tax to pay my line of credit, because the line of credit was still high. It was up like in the 10,000s. So I had to beg them because that was the only way I could keep from defaulting on it. So I got them to do that, and that's when my student loan was about, it was over $96,000 and probably over $96,000 in 2014, and I got it down to $38,000 as of August 2019. But I mean, I was hustling, man. So I mean, I was paying lawyer bills, I was paying probate bills, paying student loan, I was maintaining my grandmother's house. And that's when I realized, you know, I don't know why people are afraid to talk about money. Because when I call Bank of America, when I call like this place called IndyMac, if you want a fun project, look up IndyMac. During the Great Recession, it was like a big bank, along with here's another one. I can't think of it. It's at the top of my tongue. Washington Mutual. Look them up, man. These banks were huge, but during the Great Recession, you know what happened to them when people didn't pay their loans? They went out of business. They just said, "Fuck it, we're calm. We're gonna just go to bankruptcy." So then that's how my loan, I kept getting passed back and forth. So that's when like I realized during 2014, if you don't have money, you might as well talk about money. No one cares if you're afraid to talk about money. You're fucking, I mean, don't take that word seriously. But that's what I realized. All that stuff, and I learned in Sunday school, like God will help you, God will deliver you, God will help out. So some of that's a little bullshit, man. It's almost God, money first, God second. And sometimes I think there's a tie. Because now the reason I'm like kind of like on this rant is because I saw the gas prices up about $4.49. And I was like, you know what? That's when I got my realization too. Well, you realize, hey, you know, I better be able to talk. Not only am I better talk about money, I better know how to go raise money. And I don't mean save money. Because with my student loan, I thought I could get out there and save my way to paying off that student loan. That's when the grandmother died in about 2014. Grandmother died, probate bills, student loan bills. Then I had to pay money. I paid a $10,000 or $1,000 to get her out the grandmother's house. She wasn't going to live for free. She was a squatter. I got my uncle out. He was a drug addict, but I couldn't get out a squatter who snuck in when my grandmother was in the hospital, and they're doing the Medicare thing. And I thought I would be nice and like let her stay and have her at least pay the minimum amount on the home loan, so at least I could keep the grandmother's house in the family. But of course, I made a mistake, because I should have known from my duplex days that people don't pay. And yeah, she was a sister. She's a sister. I thought I'd be nice. You know, hey, you save me, God. Deliver me from evil, but I ain't gonna pay this motherfucking black boy, or this black friend, the friend of the black family, nothing. I was gonna use the N-word, but see, I'm gonna try to be politically correct. I don't want you guys to call me the Black Trump or something. But yeah, so that's what I realized. You know, people don't pay their bills. People will just screw you over. You don't need to be nice to people. That's why I started taking on that mentality of the rich people. Watch my money. check out who I'm dealing with. You know, if they act up, like the city girls, if they act up, they're gonna get smacked up or whatever. If they act up, they're gonna get kicked out, because that means they don't know how to take. If they're gonna act up and you're trying to help them with some money or say something, then no telling what other stupid stuff this fool is gonna do. I mean, I was giving my uncle and this lady, like, I thought, hey, I'll give them a deal. $300. You know, this is like in the inner city. I mean, an apartment is at least $700 or $800, not counting the security deposit. All these motherfuckers had to do was pay $300, and they're some fucking deadbeats. They couldn't even do that. That's when I said, you know what? As much as I learned from my Sunday school days as an usher and a deacon, God help me and deliver me from all evil. God giving me money to deliver me from these fools and from these bills. Because if I don't have no money, I'm going to be on the street with that sign saying, hey, give me food, give me this, give me that. And I realized when I lost those 2 duplexes, when these fools are acting up with my grandmother's house, God doesn't care. If you don't manage your money right, God may come to you, but he ain't gonna rush. He said, hey, you should have known these people are fools, man. Hey, why you think I sent them to hell? I don't want to deal with them. That's why I did hell. That's why I got to hell. Get rid of these fools that don't pay their bills. Some of them, at least they got, and then they, in my name, they try to protect, use God in their name to get away with stuff. That's why I'm saying, hey, gas was at $4.49. I think I went to Shell yesterday at $3.95. What I want you guys to learn is the next recession is coming. So you better get comfortable talking about money, because some of your friends ain't gonna have no money, especially when these companies start looking at their bottom line. These fuel costs, someone's gonna pay for these fuel costs, because that's what happened during that last recession. I remember diesel shot up. Then you have all these trucking companies that'll end up going out of business. You're gonna have these warehouses that'll start cutting people, and then we'll have like a nice little Great Recession 2019. So that's what I wanted to say. That's why you hear me talk about money a lot. Talk about money because had to sell my grandmother's house. It's my responsibility now. I had to sell my grandmother's house because I was stupid enough to let a friend of the family stay. I lost 2 duplexes because I assumed that if you would fix up a place, that the people that were renting there would appreciate it. But I realized, most people don't appreciate shit. So that's what I had to learn. And then I got a nice $19,000 bill from the government, for the Medicare. They say, yeah, your grandmother's dead, and yeah, life is tough, bro, but you better pay us your money or we're gonna take that house. So that's when I learned it's all about money. Money first, God second.